Okay, who? Line 15?
Okay.
Yeah. Gary Dee, we're on the air. Is this Danny?
It is.
Danny, Mr. Meenan, how are you?
Not guilty in the Goetz case.
Yay!
The attempted murder charges. There is one conviction on one gun charge so far. They are still reading, going through the verdict.
Okay, Danny Meenan, the first.
Get it.
A bulletin, no way to repeat it, the first in New York on WMCA. Here's Danny Meenan. Now, what'd you say, Danny? He said not guilty. And what'd he run off for? Why'd he hang up? What'd he say? He was going to get something? Get more information. Hey, Bernie Goetz is not guilty! Not guilty! Yay! The whole city, WMCA, everyone here has gone mad. The phones are all lit up. Goetz is not guilty. We had it first. And Danny Meenan Sr. had it on, and he'll call right back. Oh, isn't that great news? Did you hear that? Did you hear Danny Meenan? Bernie Goetz, the Subway Vigilante, is not guilty! Yay!
Gary?
Yes, the greatest news. Finally, justice has been served. Finally, now let's prosecute that prosecutor, that Waffles, or whatever his name is. He should have never brought this case to trial. I'm so excited. Oh, God bless America. It's great to be an American. And now I want us to do away, repeal the Sullivan Act. All of us get guns. Like Pacheco, if he had had a gun, we'd had 6 dead little thugs last night. Let's all get guns and shoot them all and make our subways as safe as they are in Russia.
Gary?
Yeah. What a great day. Thank you, God. Thank you, sweet Jesus.
Gary,
amen. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. Goetz is not guilty. Shoot them bastards, boy. Make our subways safe. Thank you, sweet Jesus. Oh, sweet Jesus. Put your hand on the radio. Thank God. Thank God. Thank God. Are you putting your hand on the radio? Are you putting your hand on the radio, sir? Have you thanked your Creator, who we will all meet when we meet St. Peter? Thank God for that jury of 12 great Americans. Goetz is not guilty. Not guilty.
Gary?
Yes.
I am so elated that I'm not going to remain angry the way I was before. I tried to call you twice. 570
WMCA. Goetz is not guilty. Let's get the reaction to the verdict. Goetz is not guilty. And Danny will be in with they got him on one little trumped-up charge, but he's not guilty of murdering the little bastards. Hello there, 570 WMCA, Gary Dee. Hello. Yes.
So I'm going to expose you now.
570 WMCA, Gary Dee, you're on the air. Hello there. 570 WMCA, Gary Dee, you're on the air. Do not answer the phones. Let the people talk. Let the people talk. 570 Gary Dee, you're on the air. Goetz is not guilty. The greatest decision in our lifetime has just been handed down. You heard it first on WMCA. Goetz is not guilty. Hello there.
Yeah.
570, what do you think?
I think we need more Goetz on the street, you know what I mean?
570, what do you think? Goetz is not guilty. What do you think? What is your reaction?
Terrific.
570, what's your reaction? Goetz is not guilty.
Gary?
570, Goetz is not guilty. What do you think? Hello there. 570 WMCA, Gary Dee. Goetz is not guilty. What's your reaction? Hello there. Hello. 570 WMCA, Gary Dee, you're on the air. Go right ahead.
Send him to Staten Island. The bum should have been convicted.
570, Goetz is not guilty. Your reaction. Hello there.
Hey, I'm with you. Hooray!
Yay! Thank God Goetz is not guilty. 570 WMCA, Gary Dee, you're on the air. Hello there.
Hello, this is Philip, one of your loyal listeners.
Yes, Philip.
Yes,
Are you putting your hand on the radio and thanking your Creator, the God Almighty, for finding Bernie Goetz innocent?
I'm so relieved that this happened. I wish they just caught those other 3 thugs that got away last night.
Yeah, and it's our duty to go out and get them, and we got to torture the 3 that we captured and make them name them. Make them name them. Gary Dee, Goetz is not guilty. Your reaction?
That's great.
Yay! 570, Goetz is innocent, not guilty. Hello there.
Hello there. We're thrilled what took them so long.
570, Goetz is innocent. Your reaction?
Hello?
Hello.
Thank God that he did, you know. He's an innocent young man, and I love him, and I love you.
Bye-bye. Goetz is innocent. Your reaction?
I think it's great. Now everybody will think twice before they mug us.
You're listening to the Best of D. Gary Dee, that is, here on 570. Here on 570. 570 WMCA. We interrupt this program with Danny Meenan. Danny, you're live on WMCA.
Okay. Of the 13 counts, Goetz was found guilty on only one minor possession, illegal possession of a gun. He was found not guilty on the 4 counts of attempted murder. He was found not guilty on the 4 counts of first-degree assault. He was found not guilty on the second-degree assault counts. There were 3 gun charges in the indictment. One of them carried with it a mandatory jail sentence, as it was a C felony. He was found innocent on that. The only charge that he was found guilty on was the illegal possession of a gun outside of his home. In the judge's charge, the judge explained the law to them, and under the law, Goetz was guilty of that. So he will probably walk out.
That is the greatest news I've ever heard, Danny. Now, here is our newsman, Bob Gibson. And Bob, I'm sure, will have a question. He was found guilty on 1 minor possessions charge.
That's just the 1 gun charge, right, Danny? All the serious charges, attempted murder and aggravated assault, he was acquitted on those.
Everything on aggravated.
Gary. I want America for law-abiding citizens where we can be sent Hell's Kitchen, lock on the door, where I can walk out all hours of the night and feel safe. And thank God for Bernie Goetz, we're going to get it. Hello there.
Hello, Gary.
Yes, sir.
Hi, this is Frank from Long Island.
Yes, Frank.
I happen to be a licensed gun owner.
All right.
I have a full carry permit.
Well,
okay.
Congratulations.
Thank God that Bernie Goetz was acquitted.
Really?
If it wasn't for him, our carry permits would be no good. If I'm down the street with my wife or loved ones and somebody comes up to me, I would not think twice of pulling out my gun and throwing him away.
I mean, what if James Ramseur did to your wife what he did to that 18-year-old pregnant woman and made her have oral sex with him at the hands of a gun?
Well, I tell you right now.
He pointed a gun in her temple and said, here, and you know what I'm talking about. Made this poor pregnant woman do that to him. I can't even describe it on the... That gives you a right to get a gun him through the head.
That's right. The only thing, the problem that Bernie did was he let these guys live. He should have finished them off right then and there.
Amen.
Now, the second thing is, just remember, I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6.
Beautiful. Beautiful. A man, a true American from Staten Island. Only true Americans on Staten Island. A bunch of you other people in the other 4 boroughs are all wimps. And that's why you're afraid. That's why you won't stand up. I say get a gun and shoot him. 570 WMCA, Gary Dee. Bernie Goetz is not guilty, and we want your reaction. That's what we're talking about. Hello there.
Okay. I think Bernie Goetz is guilty. I think he should have found guilty of attempted murder. He shot you.
Sir.
Poverty.
Sir, what if James Ramseur came up to you and put a gun at your head and told you to suck on this?
Give him anything he wants because he comes out of poverty. He's a poverty-stricken youth. Disadvantaged, downtrodden youth. And he tried to commit homicide against...
I've got something for you. Stand up and take it like a man.
No.
Well, I hate to kill my audience, but you got to give up a few. 570 WMCA, Gary Dee, you're on the air. Hello there.
Yes, Gary.
I just killed a liberal.
I know.
I hated to do it, but they're no good anyway. So shoot them. Yes, sir. Your reaction, Bernie Goetz, is innocent, not guilty.
I am very pleased that he's innocent. In fact, I'm going to go downstairs and paint a large sign and put it on my car, drive around through all the neighborhoods displaying it.
Oh, that's wonderful. Bless your heart. Now, the women and the homo walk the streets and compete them and not have to worry about being raped or robbed.
That's great.
Amen. And we can get on our subways any night and ride free because we know if anyone bothers us, we can blow their brains out. James Ramseur came up to me and told me to do something that he told this pregnant lady to do. I would have done just like Bernie Goetz. Where's my gun? Where's my gun? Take this, Ramseur, you lily-livered, yellow-bellied, egg-sucking scum. And let that ring through the subways of New York. Thank God now we can ride the subways any day, any hour, and be safe. You're listening to the Gary Dee, that is, here on WMCA. If you had a gun and some old guy came up to you and said, "I want all your money," and then acted like he was really harmed, what would you do?
I'd shoot him in you-know-where.
All right. There's a great young American. WMCA 570. Gary Dee, you're on the radio.
Oh, Gary?
Yes, sir.
I think the big gun in this case is the prosecution. We still have to worry about the prosecutors in our city.
Oh, wasteful Wapel.
Waples, yes. We still got to worry about the likes of...
I mean, he wasted my money, my taxpayers' money, and he said Ramseur was a rambunctious kid.
Yes, we're not through with Waples and all the other prosecuting attorneys who make the victim the culprit.
Really? Really?
Yes, and that's where our troubles continue to be.
Let's put his sentence. He's got to ride the subway every day and every night and all day longer.
No.
570 WMCA. Gary Dee, hello there.
Yes, Gary Dee.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I've been listening to you for a long time, and I think that you're the greatest. I'll tell you something.
Well, thank you.
There's one thing that's going on here that's really interesting. Being a black American, I think that James Ramseur and the rest of them are real assholes. Excuse me for my...
You didn't say it. You didn't say it like it is.
Something. But I tell you what, I'm really surprised at you, and I'm not really surprised at you because you're just doing your show. But I'll tell you what, Bernie Goetz was innocent, and I believe it. Because he's surrounded, and whatever happened, he did what he thought he had to do. But I'll tell you something. One of these days, all the different listeners that are talking about their children and the things that they went, one of these days is going to happen to them, and it's going to probably happen this summer because I think the revolution is down and ready. Because I think that you can't have guns and shoot everybody in your subways or just...
No, I'm not saying shoot everybody. I'm saying just shoot guys that get in my face, in my space, and try to bum money off of me. You got no right. You work. That's your money. I don't want to bum money from you. If I do, I do it, in a gentlemanly way. I wouldn't come up with you with a screwdriver and 4 other guys. I'd look you straight in the eye and I'd say, "Pardon me, I am broke. I'd like to, I'll have money. I'd like to borrow $5 and I'll pay it back." And I'll get Mr. Frank Oxerart, my boss. These guys didn't even sign a note, didn't back. They were robbing. And, and if I was robbing you, I would deserve for you to shoot me. I wouldn't feel bad if you'd shoot me.
Hey, Gary, but you're a breath of fresh air. And the only thing I'm saying to you is that you are not, I'm really surprised that you just really going off on this, knowing that you are a breath of fresh air here in New York, and I'm telling you something. They're wrong, and there's a lot of really no good mutants here in...
Well, I've been down on 42nd Street and Broadway. I've been down there. I purchased dope, crack, you name it. They got it. And your life down there ain't worth a plug nickel. They'll shoot you for 98 cents.
That's true, Gary.
And I say we got to clean up Times Square of all the drugs, all the dopers, the pushers, the whores, and then anyone that's got AIDS, shoot them.
I go along with...
I mean, we got to clean it up.
We got to clean it up.
If we don't clean it up, God's going to come back and kill all of us anyway.
I believe you, Gary, but Gary, listen to this.
Yes, sir.
There's one thing.
Yeah, okay.
As soon as I'm listening to your listeners, okay? And I'm just saying this. One of these days, it's going to come toward them. And then I wonder what they will think. Because Ramseur and the rest of that group were the worst people that you could ever think of. But black Americans are not this way. And I think right now...
All right, you have a nice day and don't get AIDS. Charlie, welcome to Gary Dee and WMCA.
Hi, Gary.
Yes, sir.
How you doing with the gold today? Hey, I'm sitting here with 863 silver quarters. What do I do with them?
Oh, man, hang on. Silver's it's all going to have another big run-up. I bought it just when everybody else was selling.
Okay.
And I bought some of this stock. It was $10. Now it's down to $8.49, so I'm losing $1.50. And I got my life savings. I got $100,000 in it. I really do.
That's good.
So
you'll be all right.
We'll get it back.
Yeah.
Just like a prostitute.
Listen, about this AIDS deal.
Yes, sir.
There's only one way to fix it. You can't cure it. So you got to ship them to Antarctica and freeze them.
No, and then they'll thaw out.
They'll never thaw out there.
And then they'll start it all over again. Okay, Tiger. Thanks for calling, Charlie.
Bye-bye.
Have a good one. Don't catch AIDS.
This is 570 WMCA, New York.
You're Larry D. on WMCA, a breath of fresh air. Thank you for waiting. You're on the air, Helen. Did you listen to Paul W. Smith this morning, our new morning man?
Listen, Gary.
And I want to stop this rumor right now. Just because he worked at ABC doesn't mean he's necessarily gay.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I was very curious about that.
Yes.
Listen, Gary, I've been listening to you came on. I think I missed 2 days. But what I want to say is that young boy that called up about the tattoo, I'm beginning to think that might be a good idea. Maybe on the bottom of the foot, you know, not so much on their hand. And tell me...
No, Helen.
Listen, wait, sweetheart. Oh, the Helen, that name. Listen, Gary, and also I have about 3 people that have come up to me and told me they had AIDS virus, AIDS, and they died. And another 4 that have come up to me and told me that they have the AIDS virus. I think I better move out of my neighborhood. And,
Well, no, you shouldn't have to move out. They should move out, Helen.
Yeah, I would like to...
I mean, they're taking away my right. And used to, I could go anywhere with any prostitute and feel safe. And look at it today. It's terrible, gang. You can't even pick up a self-respecting prostitute without getting AIDS or her biting you like a pit dog. Thank God she bit this officer on his wrist. Think about where some of you are being bit, like a pit bull. 570 WMCA, Gary D. I say it like it is. If you don't like it, turn your dial. Hello, Gary.
Hello.
Bet you'll never find a more honest radio announcer. Amen. Okay, we test them. They've got AIDS. What do we do with them, Gary? How are you this afternoon?
The tattoo idea sounds kind of good, but somewhere concealed, like the lady said, where people won't regularly see it.
No, you gotta. Well, then why tattoo it? You know, I'm white, and I'm white. I'll see it. You know, I wear my badge down in where I live, Hell's Kitchen. They know I'm different. You know. Now listen, Gary. They got to be tattooed on their forehead.
Why on the forehead, though? That's...
So you know what's good at tattooing a guy if you don't know he's got AIDS. Now, Gary, when you call back, turn down your radio. Here's Jimmy the Greek. Hello, Jimmy.
Hi, Gary. I got a solution.
Thank God. Now, listen, class. Here's Jimmy, and he's got a solution.
It's common sense. Once you get tested, the border house has your name on a list. You pick up a girl in a bar, you get a last name, your ID card, you call the border house, you see what name is on the list. Or the man's name is on the list.
Yeah, but Bess Myerson got the judge friend of hers, and then they get names off the list. I don't trust no list. I want to shoot all people with the AIDS virus. Listen to me, Jimmy, because first of all, it'll stop a slow death.
Right.
And all of us fear dying slowly. I mean, don't you fear a slow death? You know, that's terrible.
I fear because I'm faithful to my wife, and my wife, I hope, is faithful to me.
All right. Now, someone with AIDS, did you know that over to St. Clair Hospital, that's why all of your group insurance, your health insurance is going to double and triple and quadruple in the next couple of months? Mine already has gone up $400 a year.
Right.
Now, I say shoot all people that have the AIDS virus. No. But then there's liberals like you, Jimmy, and like Barry Farber and like Smith.
Around for it. Stay with one partner.
I say shoot them. I'm not talking about these dummies, Jimmy. Stay on the subject. You're a dummy.
But you stay with one partner, you won't get AIDS.
Okay, good. Good.
Now, what's wrong?
What am I going to do? You know, my wife left me because I didn't have no job. And she said, so long, Charlie.
Well, go to a religious church and get a nice girl, church-going girl.
Yeah.
Stay with her steady and go by the 10 Commandments.
And keep my job, huh?
Marry her and you remain faithful. What the heck's wrong with that? What's wrong with people that got to have extra sex?
I don't want any extra. I just like to have some.
Hey, Gary.
Yes.
Just a couple random thoughts.
Okay,
Number
Paul?
one, as far as the prostitute, if she doesn't want to be tested, why doesn't the judge throw her in jail just on prostitution charges? 18, well, how many times it was? I forget already. She's been arrested enough times. Instead of giving her the revolving door justice, they can actually...
She cannot be rehabilitated. Incarceration has not rehabilitated this whore. I say put her in jail forever and throw away the key like they did for Michael Sergio.
We're looking to get her off the streets because she says she has AIDS. She won't be tested for the count of the cops she bit.
And he said like a pit bull.
Maybe she will be willing to be tested. That would take care of her.
I mean, she's out on the street, and Michael Sergio's in jail.
Of course, that's why when you talk about all this silliness like tattooing people, putting on the bottom of their legs up there behind, forget about it. If they're going to put Michael Sergio in jail and let her out, the mentality that rules the system is not, what they'll wind up doing is tattooing the people that don't have AIDS, maybe. But unfortunately, then they
Why don't we shoot all AIDS victims?
Why don't we shoot all AIDS victims?
And lower my health insurance. Do you realize my health insurance went up $400 a year?
That up in front of the way things are going by the makers of our laws, they wind up shooting all people that don't have AIDS because they're so asswards backwards.
And AIDS is like a loaded gun. This whore, this little prostitute, Marion Sanders, bites like a bull, pit bull, 2 officers on the wrist. She should be charged with attempted murder. Absolutely. Now, we all agree on testing. Now, the big question is, do we on WMCA, and Sari Gray doesn't have an answer, Barry Farber talks too much in long words, Paul W. Smith just came over from ABC, what does he know? Sonny Block is out buying condos for these people on Staten Island or wherever. I say the Gary Dee audience can find the solution, and we'll go down and tell Mayor Koch what to do once you find out. Do you have the solution, Al?
Oh, I was going to ask you something else.
Well, that's all right. Well, what was it?
I was going to ask you about, I'm sincere about this question, and I've never asked any friends because I don't want to seem uninformed.
Right.
But I don't understand, and all day long we've heard about individual rights and civil rights. I don't understand the difference because one woman this morning, the teacher was talking about being blood tested, and she didn't want to do that for drugs because it was against her. We have...
Look, I say all teachers should be on drugs. Those kids will drive you crazy.
Then we have this prostitute who won't be tested for AIDS because it's against her individual rights.
Right. And then we have this Shakespeare professor on Staten Island growing marijuana.
Then we have things that I don't understand. We have busing for children so that black children can be incorporated into the schools. But now we have schools only for black children because it teaches them their African heritage. They're also taught the R's, the 3 R's. Then we have black news. We have shows on TV for blacks only. We have a woman's bank. We have women's shows. I'm all confused between individual rights and civil rights.
Al, why did you call? Al, that is a very serious question.
I know it is.
And let me think something up. The last caller was suffering from was an overdose of Barry Farber, and the question he was asking is, where does individual rights stop and society's rights begin? I'd say individual rights stop the moment you contract AIDS, and then society's rights take over to protect society from your disease, unfortunately. And I feel sorry for all people who have AIDS. It's a horrible, horrible way to die. And you do die. Now, what do we do after everyone agrees that we should test for AIDS? Now, what do we do with everyone that does have AIDS? Now, nobody in this town has the answer. I say before 7 o'clock, the 3 are charged with attempted murder. Hey, you're on the air. Hello there.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you for waiting, Jay.
I'd like to speak to you at... first, I'd like to say that I agree with you on the situation.
I don't care whether you agree with me or not. What do you stand for as an American? Are you a wimp or do you want justice? Are you going to put up with a crooked judge?
Oh, wait, I want justice, and I also...
I mean, don't agree with me.
I said I want
Question.
justice.
Ask why. What is right? What is right for you may not be right for me.
What's right for me?
All right.
I want to know what's right.
Do you want to live in a crime-free society, or do you want to live in a society like we got where criminals...
Hey, calm yourself down. I didn't...
Well, I've had it up to here. I got to walk through all this garbage of humanity tonight.
Take it out on me, you head.
Hey, don't you say that to me. And I apologize if you think I'm taking... I am angry. I'm not angry at you. Okay, I apologize. All right?
I'm like a gentleman. I want to be treated like one, okay?
Okay.
Now,
all right.
I agree with you.
I apologize.
And I feel that the situation is getting out of hand. I feel that these people should be put away just the same as anybody else. Of course, though, they should be put away according to the crime that they commit, not having to do with what their color is, their income statement, and so forth. Okay, now what I really wanted to speak about was...
What is the worst criminal? What about a judge that is crooked? What about a New York State Supreme?
That is life, and there's nothing.
I mean, what is worse than a crooked judge? That's the symbol.
There's crooked everything in life.
What is worse than a crooked judge, son?
What is worse than crooked construction crews who mess up our roadway around the New York?
Well, construction crews are run by John Gotti. They're not supposed to be honest. Now, who is supposed to be honest is a judge.
You do me a favor. Will you have a show? Will you have a show in the future about what a guy called a couple of minutes ago about our highways, about construction in our highways, and about what the hell we're going to do with all this mayhem that's going on?
I'm not going to mess with the highways. That's run by the mafia.
You're listening to the best of Gary Dee. Gary's not in the studio now, so please hold your calls.